welcome back to my channel. Today is Sunday and I have a ton of stuff to get done. I made a list. I need to empty the dishwasher, which I already did, and reload it. I need to bake bread for the week, just a loaf of sandwich bread, make granola. I'm thinking about making chili because we're gonna have chili tomorrow for lunch, but I think I might just cut up the onion and the bell pepper, and then that way I can just make it tomorrow. I want to clean out my car, do laundry, and take Christmas decor down to the basement. I have the decor taken down, it just needs to be taken down to the basement. And then I have a huge pile of laundry sitting that needs to just get cycled through. So I have a couple cycles of laundry that I need to get done. Luckily the sheets are already done and we've already done about 2 or 3 loads of laundry today. I also made some red raspberry leaf tea. I've talked about this before on my channel, but today's day 1 of my cycle. I have 4 tea bags of red raspberry leaf tea here. I'm gonna put it in the fridge and drink it iced today and tomorrow, and I like to add a little bit of raspberry lemonade to it when I drink it iced. The first thing I want to do is bake the sandwich bread. I use an Amish recipe. That's the recipe I've always used for my sandwich bread. It's not sourdough, it's very easy, and it just has like, you know, flour, water, yeast, that kind of thing. And because it needs to rise for about 45 minutes, I'm going to do that first. This is 1.5 cups of warm water. This is 1 tablespoon of yeast, 1/4 cup of brown sugar. This is about a tablespoon of vegan butter and about a teaspoon of salt. I'm using, I believe this is called a bread hook, and you just want to get this mixed so that the yeast is activated. Now I'm gonna add the flour, and this recipe calls for about 3.5 cups of flour. Obviously with bread, the flour is an estimate. I'll just start with 3 cups and then add more as needed. I always like to get the final knead in because I just feel like doing it in the KitchenAid doesn't give it the shape that I like. I prefer the final product to be this nice round dough ball. When I would make bread as a kid, I would call this a brain. I don't know why, but I have a bowl here that just has some olive oil in it. I swish it around to get the top covered and then flip it over. And I just want it all to be covered in olive oil, and I want the bowl also to be covered in olive oil, and that just helps it not to stick. I'm gonna get this covered with a clean towel and put it in the oven. I did put the oven at maybe 350 earlier, and then it shut off now. It's just been warmed up. I do that because right now I think it's about 4 degrees outside. And our garage is right there. This is an old house. There's no insulation. This window gets super drafty. That door to the garage doesn't seal, so there's a bunch of cold air coming in there. It's a cold house, so I do heat up the oven and let it rise in there because bread or yeast needs warmth to rise. So it wouldn't rise in the kitchen on its own because it's too cold in here. But the oven isn't hot, it's just been heated enough. And I'm gonna set a timer for 45 minutes. And I think while that's rising, I think I'm gonna move to the banana bread. My banana bread recipe calls for 3 overripe bananas, and I just put these straight into the KitchenAid mixer and let the KitchenAid mixer do the mashing, I guess. And I use, I think what this is called is the paddle. I'm pretty sure, I don't know. Also, all of these recipes that I'm doing are vegan. I've been vegan since I was a child, so I just had a random thought, but if you know of any vegan homesteaders that are on YouTube that don't live in a tropical area, like I like Ellen Fisher, I think her name is. I mean, I don't really like her beliefs necessarily. Like, I feel like everybody just lives in like Hawaii or something. Like, there's nobody that lives in like a cold climate and then also eats vegan, which is unfortunate. Would like to have some more people to follow. This is a half a cup of canola oil. And then you can do either a half a cup of yogurt or you can do a half a cup of milk. I mean, I don't think there's a difference in either one. I switch every time I make it. I use unsweetened, plain, I think it's almond yogurt is what I have at the moment. But because I'm gonna be making granola, I don't want to use up my yogurt. So that's why I'm gonna do milk today. And then 2 tablespoons of vanilla. This is the best vanilla. It was actually a Christmas gift from my dad. 2 teaspoons. Now this is all the wet ingredients, so I'm gonna mix this. And then for the dry ingredients, it's 2 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and then salt and cinnamon. I'm having guests over tomorrow, so I'm gonna add chocolate chips because I know people prefer chocolate chips in their banana bread. And I'm gonna actually have to take my dough that's in the oven out so I can get this preheated to get this in the oven. But if I set it on top of the oven while the oven's going, it should be hot enough. For my granola recipe, I'm gonna do 2 cups of whole oats and then 1 cup of quick oats. This is just a recipe that I made up, and I would do about 1/4 cup of coconut oil and 1/4 cup of peanut butter. I did a little bit of extra peanut butter this time because I wanted to finish up the peanut butter jar that I was scraping clean. So it is a little bit of extra peanut butter this time, but I'm not complaining. I also melted it I only put it in the microwave for 30 seconds, both of them together. And you don't need it to be liquidy, you just need it to be enough that you can stir it into your oats. For sweetener, I'm gonna do maple syrup. I'm doing a half a cup of maple syrup. You can do whatever you like. And I'm going to add, I usually do like sliced or slivered almonds, but this time I think I want to do walnuts and pecans, but those do not go in until it's about done because the nuts will burn very easily. So this is all it is for right now until the nuts go in, and then once I pull it out and it's pretty much all done, I sprinkle some chocolate chips on top while it's still hot and mix it up so that the chocolate chips melt onto it, and then it also makes really nice clusters. I'll show you. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Well, we just got back from Thea's. I understand. Okay. Okay. Uh-huh. Oh, okay. Okay. Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. I was just on the phone with my mom and her sister, and they're trying to argue with me because we have plans tomorrow. And then they go off arguing with each other, and they're just the funniest people. It's so good. And I'm gonna start cutting up this onion and bell pepper for the chili tomorrow. The granola is done. I'm just gonna let it cool a little bit longer before I put it in a jar. And then the banana bread's also done. I'm gonna let that cool before I slice into it. And then I'm waiting on this counter to dry. I'm gonna put the flour down and then knead the bread for the second time before I add it to the bread pan. Now this recipe that I made calls for makes 2 loaves of bread. This is just 1 large bread pan, and it will kind of go over the sides a little bit, but I like my bread to be tall loaves, like a big tall loaf, so this will do. And then I also have the oven set to 375 because that's what this bread needs. I think I forgot to show you the bread, but this is how it turned out. It kind of cracked a little on the side, and it didn't rise as much as, oh, it's cracked on this side too, weird. It didn't rise as much as it usually does, I think just because it was so cold. I'm gonna go slice these and get them put away for the week. Thank you for watching my video. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for making it to the end. If you'd like to see more content from me, I also post on Patreon and on Pinterest. I love and appreciate you so much. Bye.